Today on the Chat and Chew Show.
Yeah.
That's huge.
But it's difficult. I mean,
no, I'm not saying it's easy.
But it goes on both sides. Because
yeah.
Some women say they want to do that, but they feel like their purpose for the relationship, the purpose in the relationship, somehow is to give you sex.
That's right.
Because that gives them some type of place in your life.
Yeah.
So,
Hey everybody, it's your girl Roxanne, and today we're making a tangy tomato pasta.
All right, well, hello everybody, and welcome to the Chat and Chew Show. We are super thrilled you're with us, and no matter where you are on your journey, this show is designed for you. My name is Betty.
And I'm Roxanne.
And she is Roxanne. I want to sing all of a sudden. Okay. Roxanne. And if you are honest, you will know that all of us are in relationships, and sometimes it can be difficult to navigate through a relationship. So today we're going to be talking about something that is near and dear to my heart.
Are we?
We are.
What is that?
And that is, you have to find out. It's going to be good. It's going to be good. So we know that all of us are in some type of relationship. It doesn't even have to be a romantic relationship.
No.
On recent shows, we've been going down the list. So you could be a grocer.
Or you could be a mailman, which is the most famous one.
Right now, yeah. You could be an auntie, an uncle, or grandma.
Yeah, you could be a truck driver.
Yep, you could work at Amazon Prime. I'm stealing
you. You can. And I mean, and power to you, Amazon Prime.
I know that
because you have a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
But you know, you can do anything.
Yeah. All right, well, welcome back, everybody. Thank you for joining us here at the Chat and Chew Show. And look, we got a special guest with us. Yes, woo-hoo!
Glad to be here.
And, sir, please tell us your name.
My name is Paul Bashea Williams. I'm a licensed clinical social worker in Maryland and D.C. in private practice at Hearts and Mind Counseling. And I'm also the author of Dear Future Wife, a man's guide and a woman's reference to healthy relationships.
Woo! Dear Future Wife. Oh my, this is going to be an interesting conversation.
Yeah. Let's talk.
So let's start out. Roxy, you had a question before we even started rolling.
I really want to know where Bashea came from.
So my mother made it up. Literally, she made it up and she gave a meaning. So the meaning of it is born to excel in all things.
Oh.
So yeah, it's a lot of pressure though.
Yeah.
You know, to live up to the name is a lot of pressure. So, but it's good. It's good pressure.
Yeah. Okay. So writing a book, first of all, is huge.
Yeah.
So what made you write a book, Dear Future Wife? So I'm guessing you're single.
No, I'm not single. So
Okay.
I wrote this back in 2018.
Okay.
So I'm selling it now, but actually, let me start. I started writing it probably back in 2000.
Okay.
Just writing in general, writing letters. After a failed relationship, I felt like I wasn't in a position to give love to a person because I wasn't healed. Mm-hmm. So what I did was give love to paper and pen. So I all my emotions, whatever I was feeling, the things that I wanted to do to heal from it, the things that I wanted to do to help others, I just wrote on paper or wrote on Facebook. And then it became a blog. Okay. And then from that blog, I transferred it to a book.
So that's not normal. People don't usually go through a bad relationship and then they like, I'm gonna write it down. They like, I'm gonna drink something or get in another relationship.
Right.
So wow.
So yeah, because I think a lot of times what people do is they never really heal from their last relationship. They just move on to another one and they're still carrying the baggage and information and everything they've been through in the next relationship. So there's really no shift. It's just a shift in the person.
Yeah. So what made you say Dear Future Wife? Because I'm guessing you wrote the book when you were single, still wanting to get a relationship, and so you're thinking still ahead, I want to be in a healthy relationship. So you felt like, let me tell this woman, future wife, some things that I would like for her to know before we even get involved.
So it was some of that, but it was also, okay, dear future wife, this is something, if I was in a relationship back then, this is something that I wanted to give to the person I'm with, but it wasn't safe.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Or if I tried it and it failed with them,
yeah.
I'm just like, let me just put it down on paper.
Okay.
Because again, paper doesn't write back. Paper doesn't talk back. Paper doesn't hurt. If I don't like it, I can rip it up and write something else. So my purpose and the goal was to just really help myself. And then it kind of transformed and it went away from me. It went to like people asking for help through, just information guides and stuff like that. So I started to answer their questions in letter form.
I see. Okay. So wow, that's huge. So you said that you're not single now. So you're married. So
no, I'm not married.
Oh, you're not married. Okay. Okay. Do you mind telling us where you are on the spectrum then?
I'm just in a healthy relationship.
Okay.
I got my purity ring on. I'm celibate. Not celibate. Let me take that back. Father, forgive me. I'm abstinent.
Okay.
Because celibate is a different thing. I don't know if people really know the difference between abstinence and celibacy.
I think I don't.
I don't either. I don't remember that. So tell us.
So the difference between abstinence and celibacy. Celibacy simply states that I don't want to have any type of relationship. My full focus is on God.
Okay.
I'm not even prepared to be in a relationship with anyone else.
Okay.
It's almost like the nun, the priest said it.
Okay.
Involve themselves in that. So abstinence, I'm making a conscious decision not to have sex. Or I'm abstaining for something until I get into a healthy relationship, until I get married.
Okay.
So it's a conscious decision because if you're going around saying I'm celibate, that impacts how you operate in a relationship.
Wow.
It
So
makes yourself available for that.
wow, that's a lot. So every single woman out there is thinking, can this be true? Because you always think that guys, Christian guys too, they try to talk enough to you to get you in bed.
Right.
But you're saying there are people out there like yourself who decided I'm going to be abstinent until I get married.
Yeah.
That's huge.
But it's difficult. I mean,
No, I'm not saying it's easy.
But it goes on both sides because
Yeah.
some women say they want to do that, but they feel like their purpose for the relationship, purpose in the relationship, somehow is to give you sex.
That's right.
Because that gives them some type of place in your life.
Yeah.
So they're like, if you're not giving it from me, so I'm gonna give it to somebody. You know who you're getting it from.
Wow. Okay. So you're in a healthy relationship, and how long have you been in the relationship? Is it a new one or is it a shorter one?
It's a I don't want to get too dates.
Okay, you don't have to, but I'm just saying.
It's a one.
I mean, we've done shows in the past about dating, and I'm old school. I'm married 31 years. I ain't dating a long time, and so when they say dating, they have informed me that dating means you're seeing other people. So I guess I'm saying, so you're exclusive to one person.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I can't manage.
Okay.
And then how does that look like when I'm right here with your wife and I'm doing all
Right.
But I think we're talking like that definitions change all the time.
They
Especially
do.
like online dating. People feel like, well, in order to up my chances of finding one, I have to date multiple people.
Yeah.
And just like, dinner or something, not serious.
Yeah.
So it's like we're constantly revisiting what's the definition of dating when people come.
Yeah.
So,
All right, so to the future wife, tell us some of the things, just in a nutshell, that you were saying in your book to the future wife, or that our audience would want to know.
So one of the, I think, most important ones to me was that I needed to get ready for you. So I needed to do the things that I needed to do in order to be in position to receive you, or to see you, or to take care of you, and be able to let you do those things for me as well.
Okay.
So I had to really work through my past. I had to deal with not just in relationships with a significant other, but family. What you see your parents go through, what you see your aunts and uncles, community, what you see to go through, and kind of like detox from that type of thing.
Okay.
So I thought that was important.
This is a lot. I'm like, my brain is blown. Because I guess as females, we don't know, I don't know if you guys can speak to this, that men process it this way. You know what I mean? Let me be ready.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? As opposed to, I'm looking out there, just let me see if she's ready for me.
Yeah.
So that's a different way to think about it. I really appreciate hearing that.
And one of the things I wondered, so were you already like into like therapy and all that yourself as a counselor when you were going through this? I guess I'm wondering, could you therapize yourself? Can you, I said therapize, but this may not be a word, but can you like
Provide therapy
to yourself? Because when you're writing this book, I feel like you had a lot of revelation. And honestly, I don't know a regular person who would have thought to start writing as like the safe space. Like it would have done so many other things. So how do you even get to that place if you weren't like counseling yourself?
Well, it's therapeutic. So if you were to write a journal or diary as a little kid, you're writing your thoughts, your feelings. And I teach that I help kids and stuff like that do that now as a therapist. At this particular time, I wasn't a therapist. I just knew that it wasn't safe to do that other places. But I didn't want to just let it go away. Like, these were true feelings, and I was in touch with them, so I just wanted to write them down.
So to your future wife, your first thing you said then, let me get myself together and deal with some of the trauma and things that I've had in my life.
Right.
Okay,
Right.
Good. All right.
Just and again, not all of this is me. Some of it is from friends talking. Some of it I see in society. Some of it I see people ask questions.
Yeah.
So it's a wide range, because I even interview other men from different relationship status, from married to single to divorce. So this is not all me, but this is coming from a man's perspective.
Okay, good. So what are some of the other things that you would say to your future wife, or that you said to your future wife?
There's a chapter in there that says I've never been married, but I had several divorces because of how breakups feel and how they simulate, an actual divorce without the whole paper situation, court situation. But there is the financial stuff that happens. Sometimes people, go into apartments together, houses together, want to make financial decisions together, so they have to go through all that type of stuff. But just the emotional, psychological effect that happens when you have a breakup, because that's a loss. You have a routine, something that you're connected to, somebody that you're doing stuff with, and all of a sudden it stops. So what do you do now?
Yeah, that could throw you seriously, especially if you were really entangled financially and emotionally and all that. Good. All right, so we're going to take a short break. So when we come back, we're going to talk a little bit more with Mr. Williams. And so hang on. Now, a delicious word. Let's chew.
Hey everybody, it's your girl Roxanne, and today we're making a tangy tomato pasta. Now what I love about this dish is that it doesn't take a lot of ingredients to make, but once it's done, it tastes so good. And so we're going to get started by focusing on our sauce. And with our sauce, all we'll need is 2 red bell pepper, 2 tomatoes, and 1 red onion, and all of that sliced up. And once we cut those things up, we can set them aside so they're ready once we get started cooking. So for our sauce, we're going to use a large saucepan, and I'm going to start by adding a generous amount of olive oil to the bottom of this pan. And I'm going to heat the pan on medium high, and once it's hot, I'm going to throw in just my onion and my red bell peppers to start. And once you get those in there and stir those around a little bit, I'm going to cook them for about 5 minutes or so. Once I do that, I'm now going to add in about a half a cup of vegetable broth. And that's just going to soften up my vegetables a little bit. It's going to add a little bit of flavor itself. And once you add the vegetable broth, you can go ahead and cover that up and let it cook for another 5 to 10 minutes, just until those red bell peppers are soft. Once the red bell peppers are soft, we're now going to add in our tomatoes. And the tomatoes, we're going to mix those in, bring it to a boil again. And once you bring it to a boil, we're just going to turn that down to a medium-low heat and let it continue simmering with the top on for another 15 minutes, just so all those flavors can mix in together. And so once you've let it cook for a while, and while you're doing this, you can also be making your pasta. I'm using some egg noodles, and I would recommend again using some very thin pasta, so angel hair egg noodles, because it's going to be a light sauce, so you don't really need really thick pasta for this. And so you can do that while you're kind of waiting for your sauce to simmer. And so once the sauce has cooked for about 10 to 15 minutes, what we're going to do now is add our spices. And I'm going to add some oregano, some black pepper, some sea salt, and some paprika into my sauce. And what I'm doing for each thing is I'm just going to sprinkle it over the bed of the sauce for each thing. And so for all 4 of those ingredients, I'm sprinkling over the bed of the sauce. And once it's over, I mix that in. And then I'm covering it back up, and I'm going to let it cook for about another 10 minutes or so. And just to get all those spices again mixing together and making a great flavor. And once you've done that, you can turn it off, because now you'll notice like your sauce is a little bit darker red, and or a deeper red, if you will. And it's pretty much ready to eat. And your pasta should be done by now and drained. And all you have to do is, when you're plating it, put down your pasta and throw that sauce on top and enjoy. So I really love this dish. I hope you give it a try, but let me know what you think. All right, until next time.
All right, well, welcome back, everybody. Wasn't that delicious?
It was.
That Roxy sure can cook. So again, thank you so much for hanging with us. And we're going to continue our conversation with Bashea Williams. I want to make sure I say the name right. And he wrote a book called Dear Future Wife. And then he's just going to talk to us some more about some things that are in the book and some things that maybe men can consider if they are wanting to get married. So what would be some of the things that you want to say?
For us to really understand ourselves or really know ourselves, I know a lot of times we're told that we need to have all these things set in place before we get married, before we get into a relationship. And while we're building the financial status, getting the house, the car, we put away love. We put away emotion. And then by the time we get to this certain stature, now we're saying we want to reintroduce ourselves to love and to relationship and emotion.
Wow.
But it's like, it's been dormant this whole time. So we get it and we're like, what are we supposed to do with this?
Wow.
And this disrupts what we've been doing for so long.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay.
So I think I always tell men that, kind of explore that while you're building. Because if you meet the right person, you guys can grow together. Like you don't have to stop your growth in order to love someone.
Okay. Okay. Wow. That's good. That's
so
good.
I
Yeah.
find it a lot. I find a lot of guys that can check off like all the boxes professionally and like, they just have everything set up, the house, the car, the job, but like they're just so emotionally unavailable. And they want to commit to somebody, but they can't get past a certain point. Now I get it. You guys can carry on now.
You're done. Yeah. So how would one do that then, make themselves available for love? That would be the question.
So I think it starts with, parenting. Of course, it starts early. It starts with access. What does the emotional man look like? What does that conversation look like? I think
He just dropping nuggets.
Right, I know.
Okay, emotional man. What does he look like? Okay.
Yeah. So just being in touch with our feelings and being allowed to have those feelings. A lot of times we're told we're not supposed to have these feelings when it comes to anything outside of anger, anything outside of sports. Like be passionate about this, be passionate about your business, but we can't be passionate about having a healthy experience with a woman, having a healthy experience with a partner.
Yeah.
Because no, you can't do that. Like you can't show emotion that's soft. Like, I don't subscribe to that. I don't tell my son. I said, if you feel something, let's explore what that feels.
Yeah. Wow. Make yourself emotionally available. That's huge.
How does a grown man though find that support? So if you've grown up without the ability to show your emotions and all of that you just explained, where do they find the support as like a 40-year-old man?
In my book. No, so
Dear future wife.
See what I did there?
I mean, so it's actually a wave. There's a lot of us that are online. There's a lot of us available that are talking about what our emotions look like by showing the vulnerability and showing that it's safe to be accessible. I have friends who are online as far as therapists, as far as just men who are in touch and just saying, this is what I feel like. This is okay. Now, today I don't feel good. Today this hurts. I remember this time that this happened when I was a young kid and it's impacted me this way. And I no longer want to drink or smoke to hide it. And I no longer want to have sex with a woman to hide it. So just being able to have those conversations and coming to therapy. Therapy is okay. I have a lot of men in my practice. And we just talk. We really explore what these emotions feel like. And it's okay.
Yeah. Wow. Wow, that is huge. Anything else you would say to a young man who is in your spot, who is thinking, I want to have a wife and I want her to be like this? Anything else you would say? Or I want myself to be this way to prepare for her.
Yes. So I think continue to do the work and continue to really pay attention to yourself.
Okay.
Identify how you operate and why you do certain things.
Okay.
And so when you, if you pay attention to yourself, you know certain triggers and certain things that make you feel a certain way or make you do certain things, and understand how another person can trigger you. And know that even though you're single and you feel like you're all the way together, once you go into a relationship, you're going to be triggered because there's another level of healing that happens in relationship. There's another level of understanding of yourself in a relationship with someone else.
Wow.
And considering all that, so what does ready look like though? Because I feel like we're always evolving and trying to figure it out. So what's ready?
So it's really personal. So because everybody, well, I won't say everybody, a lot of people say they're ready for something until it meets them.
Right.
Yeah.
So, all right, well, what are you ready for? You're ready in your particular position, but when you know you're ready, when a new challenge comes, you're able to identify it, you're able to address it, you're able to push through it and understand it or go with it. Or know that this is something that I can do and I'm okay. It doesn't take away from who I am.
Wow, I think ready to me feels like I've been preparing for this thing, and then when this thing comes, I'm able to receive it. That's huge, to receive it, and then to manage it in a way that's going to be healthy, and then for the long term, right? Because you don't want to get in something and then you mess it up.
Being able to communicate those things is very important. To say, hey, this doesn't feel good. Let's talk about it.
Yeah. Now, I don't know if you're familiar with Enneagram.
Yeah.
Okay. What's your number?
I'm a 2.
You a 2? Oh my gosh, my husband's a 2.
Yeah.
And I'm a 5. And so
Okay.
as a 5, I'm a non-feeler. I'm going to think about everything, but I don't know too many people who are going to sit and think about it deeply the way you're thinking about it. So what can someone do to sit and think? Because sometimes we're scared of silence, to sit and process and to figure out, I'm feeling this way because, or I think this way because. Is there anything you would say to someone who maybe is a 5, who's not a feeler or want to help people?
Well, I think you're doing it, but you can just talk it out. Like, you gotta know what you've been doing for the longest time. You gotta do something different.
Okay.
So even like men, when they come into my practice, I always give them a free book. It's 101 discovery questions, and it asks them like, who am I? It asks them a wide range of different things that we just go around and we just do. But if we pay attention to it, so okay, I do this, I do that. And people they get like, wow, I didn't even think about this. So it's kind of like operating outside of your normal self. So 5, you don't have to feel, why don't I like to feel?
Yeah.
What triggered me not wanting to feel?
Yeah.
Enneagram is powerful. It's very in depth, and it tells you like the healed self, the healed 2, and the sick 2.
Yeah.
It's
strong. Yeah. So if you didn't catch that Enneagram episode, I think it was like the early one we did, like 4 or 5 or something like that. Yeah, but you guys pick this book up. It is amazing. I think it's for not just for single people, but for anybody. Dear Future Wife, and where can they find the book?
They can find it on Amazon, everything digital.
Okay.
You can find it on my website if you want it signed, and I'll send it out.
Okay.
So just pretty much everywhere.
Okay.
And it's just not. It's for single, married, divorced, engaged, courting. It's a guide for men with a woman's reference. So a lot of women buy it and they write in it because it's a journal as well. So they write in it and they find some discovery stuff for themselves as well.
Cool. That's good. And you have a social media handle?
Every social media is Bashea Williams, and that's Bashea Williams. Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn. I'm Paul Bashea Williams. Pretty much everything.
Cool. And we'll put all that information in the show notes. So you guys, thank you so much for hanging with us at the Chat and Chew Show, and we'll catch you on the next episode. Bye.
This show was brought to you by the Chat and Chew Company. Music by Elwood Jones. Lyrics by Roxanne. Bring a Chat and Chew live event to your organization. Contact us at chatandchewshow@gmail.com.